Welcome to Same Cast Different Day podcast. I am Marta Rowland. Old Man Theater is here being old as usual. Everybody say hello to Old Man Theater. Now he's in the dark.
Hello, hello. So, what do you want to talk about?
Oh, now you Cody Rose. Oh, so somebody aged a year over since the last episode. Had to put her
Hold
on
on,
blast.
wait. No, we finna back it up because you did not add me to the thing so I could say hi.
Oh,
How
and, that,
dare you?
and that's Tina Marie.
Ooh,
Oh,
yum yum.
you just be
So,
doing me all types of bad.
hello
You
there,
wasn't sitting
young
in your
lady.
chair when it started, so I that's why I have got to. See, this is what I be having to go through with her fussing.
Whatever, man. You just do me all types of wrong.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
I do not. But anywho, that woman down here at the bottom right there, Tina Marie, she just one mover right there. There we go. She aged a year this past since the
No,
last
she
episode,
didn't. No,
y'all.
she didn't. She just got
So
younger and
she
greater.
had me outside doing hood rat. So you know what I'm
Activity.
saying. When they see, yeah, hood rat activities. That's what she had
Oh
me.
yeah, he did tell me that you had him down on Third and Ring prostituting for a nickel.
I did not sell third and
I
ring.
did
Oh,
what?
was it second and Hamlin?
Oh
What?
my god.
That's what he
We
was
was
saying. He was down there horn or something, prostituting on Second and Ring or something.
Oh, that's how you feel?
That's what he
I did
said.
not say. I said that we was at. I keep calling the place Fireside, and I know that's not the name of it.
That
But
is on fireside.
you said
That
what?
is the name.
Oh, okay. Well, we was at that place. That's what I was trying to tell him. That we were at. No, I was just saying that we know I was doing hood right things. So that Saturday, I went to my nephew's birthday party at Chucky. Speaking of Chucky, y'all, Chucky is on crack. I hate to say it, but the mouse Chuck E. Cheese is on crack. Let me tell you. Let me explain something to y'all.
Okay.
When I would go on to Chuck E. Cheese and I was younger, the mouse was overweight. Okay, he was overweight. He was fat, and he had all his little friends on there. I walked in there. The stage is gone, and just a screen with a bunch of little white kids, maybe two black kids. I didn't know who the fuck those kids was, but it looked like the ball pit was gone and stuff. So I'm like, what is going on? So I'm thinking that Chucky owed his drug dealer some money, and he had to sell a lot of the stuff inside the store, and that's why Chuck E. Cheese looks so depressing now. It don't look like a place where a kid could be a kid no more.
It ain't.
Okay,
It's a
so that's
strip joint. It's a strip joint.
Why would it?
I'm not gonna deal with y'all.
I can't do. He keep popping out. Um, but yeah. So Tina just had a birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Tina Marie in the comments and stuff, or wherever y'all see this or listen to this on your audio version. Just yell out happy birthday. They might not know what the hell y'all talking about, but just say happy birthday.
Oh, okay.
Into the Chrome would make this thing better. So I need to improve my signal in the house as far as my internet. And there's a very bad storm hitting the area right now. So if we go down, that's why if the thing go down. So I think I might end up losing power because my lights and stuff is flickering already. But to keep
Hey,
that
hey,
going,
by the way, I think your uncle right here. That's your uncle Sanchez Riviera.
Hey,
te-
Sanchez.
tell him we are you.
This guy no like the woman, like the man's. Man's
Ah,
maricón.
He's right. He's right. This is a woman in a man's
Oh
body.
my god, it is really thundering. Um,
Yeah.
let him know that we stand with him against Yolanda Salvador.
Hey, they said that they paid for your green card over yesterday.
We did not. Oh my god.
I'm calling
Anywho,
what
immigration.
is going on?
I don't know what's going on.
I'm calling immigration. We've been raided. You done crossed across that
I
damn.
I do not
Somebody
approve of
call
that.
immigration.
I do not approve of that. So to get into this show, which is about true crime, we're gonna get into one of the big stories while I try to fix my signal because I'm thinking the storm is about to knock things out. But while I'm fixing my internet signal, I'm gonna play this video. So this is about Vince McMahon, and if you guys don't know, he's currently being sued for sex trafficking. with a lot along with other stuff. Brock
I'm
Lesnar
showing my picture.
in this. Oh, Lord have mercy. Brock
Oh,
Lesnar has been named in this lawsuit along with John Laurinaitis. If you're not familiar with John Laurinaitis, he is the stepfathers of Bella Twins. So I'm going to
so
play.
that's what we're gonna talk about.
Breaking news and sad news coming out of the WWE today as a new article in regards to the assaults Vince McMahon committed against his staff have come to light. We got to talk about it. The article goes into Vince's misconduct with a Miss Grant who worked in the legal department. The two were actually introduced by a mutual friend. Miss Grant has lived in the building that Vince McMahon's penthouse was in, and after her parents had passed away, she was looking for a job, and Vince had hired her on, actually creating a new role for her in a legal department. But ultimately, it was kind of a sham role. People in the department said, she didn't have a lot of work to do, so they weren't really sure why she was there. Unfortunately, we found out, and that was because Vince McMahon was abusing her. And this next part is going to be very tough. It's not a good subject at all, but I do think it is something we need to talk about as pro wrestling fans, because this is wholly unforgivable, and we can't let this stuff continue to happen in professional wrestling, if it still is. It said in the report that Vince McMahon trafficked her to other men, such as John Laurinaitis, multiple occasions. There was an attempted trafficking to a WWE superstar who was a former UFC star. The article goes on to allege that Brock Lesnar was one of those men. It also says in the article, though, that Brock Lesnar never went through with it, as there was a snowstorm that impeded his travel plans. McMahon shared private pictures of Miss Grant with fellow WWE staff, wrestlers, and the like, which not good. Many of the staff who remarked on the photos, Vince in turn I'm so sorry. This is really bad. It's just awful to talk about. It's Vince would send her to have sex with these people, and it's not something she enjoyed. She mentioned that she felt really bad after every encounter. Even told Vince this, and Vince did not care. There was a incident in June of 2021 where Vince attacked her and locked her into his own private dressing room, where he assaulted her over a massage table. After the assault, or alleged assault, I guess in this case, Vince had Vince's personal assistant brought her a $15,000 card to Bloomingdale's, which is a department store. I move on, and I say this, and I don't look. It's not good to talk about, but I think it's important here. It's mentioned on her that Vince assaulted her multiple times. She tried to break off the relationship, and that just wasn't happening. There was a time where Vince defecated on her during an encounter, which was not something discussed or wanted. Let's see here. The reason we're hearing about this now, there was a $3 million payment to go out to her. The other half would be an NDA on her part, where she wouldn't say anything bad or disparage or talk about the relationship with Vince McMahon. That was said to be bringing about.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's that with that one. I don't know what happened to Martell. I don't know, but so I didn't know all the details in that video. It was kind of playing all of the details of Vince McMahon being forced to step down because of some rigmarole he got going on. You cut the clip.
My signal was I just fixed my signal though, so hopefully But I can give a rundown.
It was still playing while you was gone.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta stop using Boost Mobile shit.
First of all, I have AT&T. Thank you very much.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
About time. Got something. I don't know.
But I remember it was for sex trafficking. I remember They were saying that he defecated on the young lady. There were times where they say he defecated on her and then forced her to continue to have sex with other men while she was covered and the stuff. He was making her have sex with other employees. He basically gave her a job within the company to hush her up. He did make her sign an NDA and then gave her $3 million, or supposed to get a $3 million over the course of time for keeping her mouth shut. And she just decided to go public with this all of a sudden.
Don't die.
The result of this is that Vince McMahon was forced to step down as the chairman of TKO, which TKO is a company that now owns both WWE and the UFC company. So he is no longer on the board of directors. The Rock was appointed to the board of directors after Vince McMahon was forced to leave the company. Now, the question is, do we think Vince McMahon really did these things?
Yes.
And why do you think so, old man?
He seemed like the one of them type of freaky deaky dude.
Because does he seem like one of those type of freaky deaky dudes? Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to agree. I'm going to say,
Riviera.
huh? Whoa.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna say yes because I just feel like his money and his status, he just kind of seems arrogant in a way. Now, I'm gonna say that situation perchance was true because I don't know, but I feel like he has the tendency and ability to do something like that. Yes.
yeah, it was rumored that one of the reasons that his son Shane McMahon left the company was because of situations like this, and that something like this had came up before in Vince McMahon, and that caused the tension between him and Shane, and that's why he left the company the first time before returning back to WWE.
Oh, okay. I do remember that.
Y'all. I'm trying to find this file for the next story, y'all, because I forgot to add it. And I can't find it. So maybe I just share my screen when we get to that point. Actually, yeah, might as well go into it now. So Disney star Dan Benson is upset that he was not invited to go for the reboot of Wizards of Waverly Place. If you're not familiar with the TV show, this TV show stars Selena Gomez, David Henry, and Jake T. Austin. This show ran for about 6 or 7 years, I believe, on Disney. And if you're not sure who Dan Benson is, let me share my screen. Windows. So this is Dan Benson. The reason why he was not invited back to do Wizards of Waverly Place because Dan is now known as a X-rated star. He does porn. He has an OnlyFans page, and this is he believed that's the reason why he was not invited back to the show. Now, question: because he wasn't getting a lot of acting work after Wizards of Waverly Place kind of ended, he decided to go into this field to be able to basically make money and take care of himself. So, how would you feel if a ex-porn star was to be show up on a reboot on a Disney show that he once was on before?
I mean, I guess I wouldn't care, honestly, because I mean, mostly all adults that's how we all got here, right? They have sex, right?
That's
okay.
Correct.
So now I will admit that it might be a little weird for people if you saw him in the act, but then you watched it. So what does that say about you? You can't say nothing about him doing something different. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of on you with that. But I don't feel like it's I don't. So what's the difference between people doing this in their spare time and recording, having their own private recordings of themselves, right?
Mhm.
Versus somebody getting paid for it.
Right. And then a lot of criticism comes to because he caters a lot of his content to gay men, and then he has a girlfriend who is transgender, who he does on a separate page does content with her.
Well, my
So,
thing is, as long as it ain't Uncle Netta, I'm good.
who the hell is that?
I'll already say who the fuck. I mean, hell, I'm trying not to cuss. Who was that?
Watch Facebook a little bit more.
Oh Lord, have mercy. I mean, so me personally, I wouldn't have had no problem returning to Wizards of Waverly Place, considering the fact that I think kids who are younger are not going to watch this show. I feel like this reboot is mostly for people who watched this show in their teenage years and is now adults themselves. Is going to be watching this as in like a nostalgia, like, oh, I remember this or whatever. I feel like those are the people who are going to be watching this. I can't see no kids that's like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old watching it. They might rediscover the show, like, hey, this is a good show. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not like they're going to mention that that this character does OnlyFans on Disney. So it's basically like almost like a only way your kids will find out if they gonna be nosy and figure it out for themselves. And at that
Well,
case, you
kids
should,
are pretty
and
smart nowadays anyway.
I mean they are, but at the same time, if you should be monitoring what your child is doing on the internet in the first place.
That's
Is
true.
what
I
I'm
agree
saying.
with that.
Yeah, you can, and then too, it's ways around that.
I mean, yeah, but kids are stupid. They're not smart how we are smart. Like they don't know how to hide their content. Like how
My
Bullshit.
we
block
do.
game is strong on my internet
Bullshit.
device. What are you talking about? You can just block
I mean, that's what
certain.
I'm saying. I'm like for us, but we know how to get into that stuff though. We know where to go search for that stuff though.
But that's what I'm saying. If you know where to go search for it for, then make it a block content so that you can't get on those sites like a school does.
Oh
They
yeah, yeah,
block. You
yeah,
can't get on Facebook. You can't do any of that while
yeah.
while
But
you're hooked up to the school Wi-Fi.
yeah, because like on kids' phones, whatever, like even on cell phone, you got the option to where you can have like a privacy folder where it doesn't show up unless you turn on that privacy icon and it's password protected and da 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 da. Any parent who got common sense will know, hey, let me go click on this to make sure my kid doesn't have a folder hidden. Oh, you have a folder hidden. I need you to unlock your phone so I can see what's in here. Like kids are,
Listen,
parents, they think
block.
parents are stupid.
Go to your cellular carrier. Block certain websites. You can do that.
True.
Get on your internet carrier. Block certain websites. And then it's like I feel like if you go through all of the rigmarole to be on somebody else's internet and
Mhm.
still go to these sites, then I don't know what to tell you. If I done told you not to do it, then when I find out, you just got to reap the consequences.
Exactly.
Exactly.
These kids just they smart. I don't give a damn what y'all say about them being dumb. No, kids are very smart now.
They're sneaky.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're sneaky, not smart, but sneaky.
Yeah, well, smart too. Smart asses. Look at
My
you.
kids are smart.
I mean, yeah.
Ain't no,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, when it comes to like certain things, kids ain't that
I'm
smart.
smart also, so that's the problem.
I
Well,
mean, yeah, but your kids are not good at being sneaky. How many times have they don't got caught doing stuff? And I've been on the phone when you don't cuss them
That's
out.
that's because that's because I'm smart enough to know.
That's what I'm saying.
Child.
Speaking of, I forgot to mention that WWE Monday Night Raw is moving to Netflix. This is a 10-year deal. This deal is supposed to be worth billions of dollars. So only WWE Raw is moving to Netflix. WWE Friday Night SmackDown will be moving to the USA Network starting this October, and then WWE NXT, which is broadcast on Tuesday nights, and currently on the USA Network, will be moving to the CW come October also. Whew, that was a lot of work.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Michael Jackson. They're coming out with a Michael Jackson about I know y'all. I didn't separate this in between news and hot topics because like literally like 5 minutes before the broadcast was supposed to start, I was still working on this. But Michael Jackson is they coming out with a Michael Jackson biopic. If you're not sure what a biopic is, it's a movie about somebody's life. Michael Jackson nephew is scheduled to play him, which is the son of, I believe, Jermaine Jackson is going to be playing Michael Jackson is biopic. Is this a that we need? Because I don't.
So
I mean, there
yes,
is kind of a
because
blur between when he got cleared of the allegations and then till This Is It popped up. It's kind of a big blank because we don't know what Michael Jackson really did between that time because he kind of stayed out of the public eye until he decided to
well,
come back
that's
and try
his
to do the
family
comeback
though.
concert.
That's his own family.
I
Big
mean,
like they
yeah,
got some more tea than we do.
yeah, but I know that's what I'm saying. Like, are they gonna give us the good details of what happened during that period of time where he just disappeared from after the whole allegations, and then when he reappeared when the This Is It was supposed to happen in 2009, then he passed away because in the Whitney Houston biopic, there's basically a big blank between I would say 2002 until it just popped up to the year that she did her comeback in 2009. So it's just a big blank in between
Didn't
then.
watch it. I didn't watch that, so I can't tell you how I feel about that. But I will say this: hopefully, whatever they put out, this biopic that's coming out is going to be way better than the one that Flex
I knew
played.
you was gonna. I knew you was gonna. Y'all would not let Flex live that road down. Y'all better leave Flex Alexander alone.
It is
All
Black
he
History
knew,
Month. We need to bring it to the front of the congregation because what
all,
was that?
all he knew was that he was getting paid to be Michael Jackson. That's
That
all he
didn't even
did.
try. That was terrible. It was
It was,
laughable.
and I think it was based. It was mostly based on. I think most of that story is based on when Michael Jackson is going through the. Oh shit! I'm about to lose power. The allegations and stuff. My lights and stuff flickering. Oh, it's lightning. So I'm hoping I power y'all.
Yeah, you real choppy right now.
Yeah, I redirected I went into my gateway settings to redirect to prioritize my desktop for the internet service. So hopefully the signal stay up long enough. But yeah. So the key thing's going confirmed that she will be playing Diane Warwick in her biopic.
Ooh.
Tiana Taylor.
Oh yeah. So they look a lot alike, and she's very, very talented.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see that.
To be honest, and I like her better as an actor to her music. I don't know if that's kind of harsh to say. Like her music is okay, but I like her better as an actress. I like her acting skills better than her doing music. And ain't Tiana Taylor the one married to that basketball player?
Yeah, but they going through some marital issues right now.
Damn, everybody going through marital issues. Oh, there go my signal going. Lord have mercy.
Because don't nobody know how to be married.
Is that what
it ain't no blueprint to it, but I just feel like it don't be no compromise,
Oh,
and I feel like people when they get married they have a hard time compromising for each other. Okay. And then when you got two people of that status is even more difficult, right? I feel like to keep a marriage. First of all, your marriage is not always going to be private, right? So that's problem number one. Then you got a bunch of people that's just haters, right? Then you got people that don't know how to resist temptations, right? And then it seemed like they had a pretty decent marriage going on. So like when it happened, I was kind of blown out the water about it, but I was like, whatever. People grow up and grow apart because he was a basketball star. She was up and coming, a rising star in her own right with her choreography, her music, and now she got into acting. So some people just can't handle when their spouse begins to grow. even if it's something that is positive, right?
Right.
So then you have that lack of support in many different ways. Then here comes the nagging and the complaining. And then you got to think about, like I said, just all the hater moves. You just talk down, you condescending, things like that. You want to point out all their flaws, or you need to do this better, instead of congratulations and uplifting in a positive manner. So I'm not sure if that's what happened, but she did start to gain momentum in her own career. And I was just like, well, what does he do again? I know he's
Yeah,
a
I just know
basketball
him from
player.
basketball. That's about it. That's the only thing I
Right,
know is
but
from
he
basketball.
he wasn't somebody that stuck out in my head like, oh yeah, I know who that is. You
To
know
be
what I'm
honest,
saying?
I was trying to think of his name and I can't even think of his name.
Iman Shumpert, I think, or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Hey, he talking and we don't hear nothing he's saying.
Blinked
Yeah.
out again. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
It keep on blinking out. I figure like this. It should be loyalty, communication, honesty, and respect. Those are a few of them. If you don't have that, you ain't got nothing.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
I
That's that
mean,
compromise. It's a lot of people out here that still have those traditional values of what a marriage is supposed to be like men roles, women roles, and a lot of that, like the gender roles are changing just because our world is changing. And I see a lot of men in particular that always say the woman is supposed to be the submissive and the male is supposed to be dominant. I don't think in terms like that. I think in terms of team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like why are we thinking in terms of dominant and submissive? My partner might be good at something that I can't do, and vice versa, right? So it really ain't you're not dominant if you can't do it all by yourself and the other person has no skill whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in this day and age, those gender roles are really, really blurring. It's a lot of marriages where the woman makes more than the male, you know. So that creates tension in between a marriage when some people can't handle that fact. So that's why I'm like, it's just some people are not mentally prepared for what marriage is. They go into marriage thinking it's supposed to be a certain way and it's not. And you got to stop and think like everybody marriage is always going to be different from the next person's marriage. Stop trying to compare what you hear and see with what other people are doing within their marriage. If it works for you, then it just works for you and be happy with that.
That's true. I totally 100% agree with everything that Tina just said. Like I said, if marriages need to be like a team, and I feel like one person does start doing more outshining the other person might instead of like, well, hold on, let me step my game up, or just let my partner do their thing or whatever, and I just do my thing, and let me just make sure I'm able to maintain my side and hold up my end of the bargain or what I'm supposed to do, which some people ain't doing.
Oh my God.
So
The shade, honey.
I didn't throw no shade. I didn't.
There was some blue blockers, honey. Oh, he's stuck.
Okay, I don't know what he got going on. So to keep things going, there's a woman suing a mac and cheese company,
What?
and I came across this video, and I was like, same reaction I had, like, what? So I'm gonna play the video, and then we're gonna discuss it.
Okay.
A Florida woman is boiling mad over her mac and cheese. Amanda Ramirez has filed a $5 million lawsuit against Kraft Heinz Foods. She says the company's claim about its Velveeta microwavable shells and cheese is misleading. The package says ready within 3.5 minutes. But Ramirez says Kraft does not take into account the time to remove the lid and the sauce, to add water and stir. According to court documents, Ramirez says Kraft should be ordered to cease it's deceptive advertising. In addition to the $5 million, Ramirez wants punitive damages. Attorneys for Kraft call the lawsuit frivolous, and they say they will defend the company against the allegations.
First of all, what lawyer took that case? Who did it? Why?
A money hungry
All they
lawyer.
gonna do is change the wording on the label. Cooking time is 3.5 minutes. Not she really mad about how long it takes for her ass to take off the damn lid and stir in the cheese. The fuck, was you that damn hungry?
I can't with people. Like, why are people so stupid?
Dog, 2024 has like it hit the ground running. It ain't stopped. It's like full steam ahead.
And the thing about it, it's the Florida person. Too.
Of course,
And we
it's
all
Florida.
know Florida, and we all know
Of
Florida
course.
residents don't got it all together. Hell, look who they elected as governor.
What is in the air down there? What's going on? Florida, like Floridians. Really?
There's
Really?
something going on in the air down there because I went down there. I got sick instantly when I got there.
It's all the BS floating around in the air.
Oh shit! Oh, sorry, I ain't supposed to be cussing. I'm trying to. We can don't have to be explicit no more. Oh, okay.
Oh, that ain't gonna work.
I'm trying, but it's not working, y'all. It's not working. So we have an update on the Michigan mom. I still was supposed to look into the Iowa story. I'm gonna make sure I get into that next week to see if there's any updates about that trial. But if you guys are not familiar, there was a young man in Michigan, I believe 2 years ago or a year ago. His parents basically bought him a gun. He took that gun to school and he unalived some of his classmates. We're just gonna say that. His mother, Jennifer Crumley, was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. The jury came to this decision after 11 hours of deliberating. She is the first parent in U.S. history to be convicted in a school shooting that the child did.
So was the child also convicted?
The child is going through court trial right now. But I believe the child may be convicted or might have been. I got to check and see. But I know that he's been going through court the process also.
How old is this child?
I believe he was 15 or 16 at the time this happened. So the school, like I said, I think in the last episode, whenever we had talked about this, the school did send warning signs to the parents that the child was having, these red flag behaviors through. I think he had made some drawings and everything, and they had. I believe the school had a meeting with the parents about I don't know what kind of device that if you're using earbuds or what did you. But
I ain't using no damn earbuds.
You is creating so much feedback on your end.
Lord, he's fussing.
Fuck you.
Just an old man.
He's just old. That's all.
I'm talking about you.
Well, hell, I'm wearing earphones, so I'm hearing the feedback on my side.
How you figure it's me?
Because when I mute you, it stops.
That's why he was muted. That's why you was talking and we couldn't hear you. He doing it on purpose.
But
Oh, you piece of shit. That's why I kept on having to turn back on the fucking mic. Fuck you. I'm not gonna go PG my fucking talk, you fucking asshole.
Well, this one's gonna be explicit.
Yeah.
Piece of fucking garbage.
The school has, there were so many red flags that was set up. The parents basically ignored it, and they still went and bought their child a gun that the child had access to, and he took that gun to school to unalive some students. Now, hopefully nothing happens again, but this is America, and we can expect for it to happen again. I hate to say it. So in the future, if this happens, and if the child get a hold of a gun, and let's say that the parents did not have the gun locked away, And should the parents be charged with the crime or in some type of crime when a child goes to commit a mass shooting at their school?
Yeah.
So it's a difference between. So okay, so I'm put it like this: it's a difference between buying a gun for your child and having owning a gun and your child somehow, some way got access to it.
Mm-hmm.
Those are two different situations in my head because you can either not have your gun locked up and your child gets it. You can still have your gun locked up and your child still gets a hold of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you just stupid and you buy your kid a gun.
True.
So I feel like that's a case by case basis, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
then even if so, say she had a gun in the home and it wasn't properly secured or whatever. Uh, say she say she did meet with the parents and she was actively trying to curb some of these behaviors of her child, and it just what she was trying to do was not working, you know. So it's very unfortunate. You know, I don't know why people, and we talked about this before, why people think they're supposed to go shoot up a school or any place for that matter,
True.
you know. But 16 years old, you know, he should have known better if we don't know how he was parented, you know, and hearing that he was given a gun doesn't sound like he really, these parents wasn't given parent.
Yeah, because they literally went and bought the gun. The gun was in their name. They went and bought the gun because their child wasn't at legal age to buy the gun, and they bought the gun for him. I don't know if it was like a birthday gift or some type of reward, but they bought that gun for him.
A reward for what? Because it sounded like he didn't need nothing but clothes on his back, food on his stomach, and a roof over his head.
Well, for one, I heard with everything that you said, Tina, about guns and stuff like that. But I feel like this: if I didn't live alone, and if I had a teenager or whatever, or even a baby at that age, if I had my guns and within reach, whether they could break in the cabinet or not, I would still hide my clips of my bullets somewhere else. I would never
So
keep them in one
and
place.
and that's what you're supposed to do, right? And that's what I was thinking. But how easy is it to go get a clip for a 9 and bullets? You know, so that's my thing too. Like you actively, like you gotta have both of them things locked up so they don't have access to neither one of them.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I'm saying?
even I mean, the streets will sell you stuff too. Either way,
That's true.
but I mean, if you wouldn't have got the gun out the house, if you got the gun out the house, say for instance, got the gun out the house, didn't have a clip, yeah, he could probably find a clip somewhere on the street. Or if he got the clip and didn't have a gun, he could probably find a gun on the street. But it's just a thing of it is. I'm just saying, in order to, I would say to charge somebody with their parents with something. I understand if it's all in the same place, all put together, loaded up or whatever have you. I understand them getting a charge for that one. But if you got a separated head out and they
That
get
yeah.
one part and don't have the other, I don't feel like a parent at that point should be charged on that or for it or whatever have
And that's why I was
Mhm.
saying I feel like that's a case by case basis
you. Right.
because there's so many, you know, if ands or buts. You know, but
Right.
she deserved it because you went and bought the gun for him
Right.
and he wasn't acting right behavioral wise.
Because I think he had drawings. If this is the case, and I'm thinking about it, I believe he's one of the child that they had showed the parents some drawings of him unaliving people in these drawings, and it was like, hey, they brought it to the school, brought it to the parents' attention, and they ignored it. And I believe I believe they went and bought the gun after all this was brought to their attention.
They probably shouldn't have never had guns in the house, period. With a kid behaving like that. I'm be honest. You know what I'm saying?
It's not like the parents went and bought the guns for themselves to have in the house for protection. They went and bought this gun and said, "Here you go, son. This is for you."
Yeah, she's stupid. They stupid.
Yeah, so both of the parents are actually being charged.
State was you saying?
Michigan. The
Michigan.
dad is scheduled for trial in April.
Why they try the mama first?
I have no idea why they did the mom.
Maybe
first.
she's just maybe the father's not his biological dad.
I have no idea.
Yeah, but I not to change the subject. I'm just wondering too about that body that they just found at the Pizza Hut. Anybody hear about that?
It popped up on my thing right before the broadcast. I was getting ready to start the broadcast. They found the body in the back of a Pizza Hut on the side inside of a dumpster.
Yeah, and I haven't heard nothing else on that James Bond, whatever his name is, that brother that's missing either. And I'm wondering if that's something that could be related.
I don't even know. I don't know nothing about that either.
Yeah, it's a brother that's been missing. We came up missing over there by Washington Park or something.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was Jamie because it kind of looked like him.
Jamie
that we used to work with.
Oh, the manhole. Okay.
Well.
Oh my goodness.
You should just say manhole. I know you.
The baby maker.
Like Jamie. You should have been like Jamie the manhole. Yeah.
Just pumped out another kid with somebody. I heard.
You know about that? Okay, I thought I was. I didn't know you knew about it because I was gonna say wait till after the broadcast to ask you, but I know you knew about it. Okay.
Hello.
And it's about somebody who used to work there also. But
right on the street, you know.
Woo, child. Y'all, they out here acting like money grow on trees, cause honey.
Word on the street, but I ain't talking about it.
Lord
not, you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of, you know. Woo, Lord.
Okay, so the key thing is going. We are currently waiting for the Supreme Court to make a decision on whether Donald Trump is going to be on the if the state's Supreme Court have the right to take Donald Trump off the ballots for the primary elections that are coming up, especially with Super Tuesday approaching. So some states are taking Donald Trump off the ballot because he was a person who held the office and was supposed to protect uphold the Constitution. And he chose basically, and then they said, while you're in office and you're supposed to uphold the Constitution, you're not supposed to be was an insurrection or something like that. So that's why they ended up taking him off the ballot, saying, "No, he's not going to be able to run for president here in this state." So right now we are waiting to hear whether the Supreme Court will uphold the state level Supreme Court decision on whether to keep him on the ballot or not. Me personally, a lot of people are arguing that he had nothing to do with the January 6th insurrection and all these other kind of things. The fact that he put a tweet out there and told people that they're trying to take away their rights and that they should go to the Capitol building and do something about it. And I believe that's taking part in it. You're telling them to go on the day where they're going to elect the new president elect the president of the country. You're telling people to go to the Capitol and do things. These people did to go to the Capitol and do things. So you are the one who caused this whole January 6th riot. And that's my personal opinion. I feel like it's his fault and he should not be on the ballot. If the Constitution saying that he's not supposed to do things like that while upholding the Constitution, then yeah, he should not be allowed to run for president.
I don't even know why this is even a conversation because it was clear it was broadcasted on the news channels, and then here we go. Everybody that was there was a Trump supporter, were they not?
Yeah, wasn't he praising them too when they went to the Capitol building and did it, making it seem like they pretty much saying that it was okay that they were doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's just a bunch of red tape. You know, he got to be officially charged. I feel like it's treasonous. You know, because you're attacking like the state capitol. Like that should be treason.
Right.
Like, oh Lord,
Oh
these
man,
people
theater,
don't
you
know
have
how to
any
read the Constitution.
You said the Constitution.
I said Constitution. These people do
Oh,
not know
oh,
how to read the
oh,
Constitution.
oh.
Oh my
I thought you
goodness.
said something about prostitution.
Oh my
oh man,
goodness.
theater, do you have any thoughts?
Sleepy Joe, they ain't gonna charge him.
I mean, they don't
Charge
have
you for
nothing
what?
against him. They don't really have
Something about the paperwork or whatever business that he took out the White House.
I don't know nothing about that.
yeah, they were talking about that he
Documents.
took some documents, they were supposed to be classified documents out of the White House. But at the end of the day, if he took these documents out, they returned to the White House, and none of those documents were shown to people that are a threat to the United States of America, like what Trump did when he showed classified documents to people to countries that are considered a threat to the States of America. Are you showing them classified documents in the first place?
Woo,
That's all I'm
child, the
saying.
messiness.
Right.
Ooh.
And there was a young man who went and I believe, I don't know what state it was in, but he went and he spoke to the Republican Party, and I'm gonna play the video for y'all because we need more young people like this.
If you watch one thing today, make sure it's this video of a hero student calling out Republicans to their faces.
My name is Eric Willoughby. I'm a senior in high school, and I come to you today from North Mecklenburg County, Huntersville to be specific. And I'm here today to convey a very, very simple message. I'm 17. I should be spending my Wednesday afternoons with friends or family, but instead I'm here with y'all. I'm here because every single day I have to worry about which liberties Republican legislators are going to choose to gut next. They started by refusing to take action against gun violence and destroyed your right to peace of mind about something as simple as sending your child to school. Then they came for your right to make the most basic reproductive health care decisions that were right for you and your family. This time, they're coming for every North Carolinian's right to fair representation. This legislature is made up of the same people who have drawn maps that intentionally disenfranchise and limit the power of historically marginalized and minority voters. These are the same people who have proven to us time and time again through their voting record that they don't care. If these people cannot be trusted to protect our most basic rights, how can we trust them to draw fair and impartial maps that will promote a healthy and vibrant democracy? They can't. We can't trust them. The Republicans in this committee and the others in the House and Senate don't care about democracy. They don't care about fair maps. All they care about are three simple things: re-election, power, and dollar signs. This redistricting stunt is a clear power grab by Republicans in the General Assembly. So I urge you now, watch your step. Be very careful in what you choose to do, because young people like me are watching, and young people like me are fed up.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Very powerful statement, and I feel like a lot of Republicans needs to see that video, because we have a lot of young voters who are watching what's going on in politics. They're watching what's going on in the world, and these older Republicans, these mega Republicans, they're not taking into consideration of these young new voters that are coming in and like, you know what, we're fed up and we're going to vote you out. And that's what they're really failing to realize, what can possibly happen during the next election, because by the time we got to vote for congressmen and stuff like that again, a lot of these people will be at legal age to vote. Most of them who are between 16 to 17 now will be at legal age to vote. So yeah, they need to watch their stuff on what they're going on and decisions that they're making. Want to keep those positions, you might want to tread lightly on what you're doing and the policies that y'all make it. Oh God. Ooh.
I can't give you CPR all the way over there.
So to keep things going, I had a video about the border because I don't have anything in order.
This is so funny.
Okay. So here's the video that where a lot of Fox News lied to a bunch of Trump supporters about the border.
The woman that stole $4,000. I know. The woman that stole $4,000.
That's the wrong.
This is so funny. Are you folks familiar with the group of the MAGA Republicans who drove to the southern border this week to, quote, stop the invasion? Yeah, well, once they got there, they realized it wasn't that bad and that Fox News and the Republicans had been lying to them. Like, seriously, they wasted all this time and spent all of that money for nothing. So this week, a MAGA convoy of these lunatics descended on the border, and they were trying to stop a supposed, quote, invasion, as they would call it, of people coming into the country. They called their gathering the, quote, Take Our Border Back rally. So MSNBC caught up with one of these people who were at this rally, and they shared their confusion about what they witnessed. This rally goer said, we actually made it into Eagle Pass. I was able to see some people trying to cross and stopped at the wire there. It's very eye-opening. But then the reporter followed up saying, tell me more about this eye-opening. Is it what you expected? Is it better? Is it worse? And the rally goer responded by saying, it's not what I expected. But then again, I don't know what I expected. I can tell you it's not as bad as what I thought. So that's kind of eye-opening in itself too. So what do you know? Even the most lunatic MAGA Republicans are finally starting to see that these Republicans and Fox News have been lying to them about how terrible the border is and that it's just constant chaos. Now, again, there's no doubt that there's a problem at the border, and Biden and the Democrats have reached out to Republicans to try to solve it, but a lot of the chaos you hear about is just fear-mongering from Republicans. So when you hear Donald Trump or any Republican talk about the border, just don't listen to them and don't fall for their lies like that person did.
The lies that Fox told them. It's crazy. I don't know if y'all saw it, but there was a video that was surfacing online where Fox News faked somebody crossing the border. It was actually somebody who worked for Fox News. So basically, it showed them on the Mexico side climbing over the fence, over the wire and stuff, and crossing over into the U.S. And it was a whole thing that was staged by Fox. And the man, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure there's like some security or some type of border patrol people when there's like a news outlet or somebody's out there doing a story. There's some type of border security that's there with these people. So if border security is there, why and watching with Fox while they're filming, why would they just watch them? Why would they just watch somebody just climb over fence and just walk off? Like it don't make sense. Like I don't know what Fox was thinking. They tried to do this whole thing, make it seem like the things was just really sad on the border. Like there was just so many people climbing over this wall to get over from Mexico. And then, like I said, all these people went down there and they're like, oh, there's not really. We saw maybe a few people, but it's not like it's 100 or 1,000 some people on the other side of the wall just climbing over like Trump and Fox and all the Republicans were saying, like idiots.
I mean, because think about it, like, is it really that serious to get into America? I don't know. I haven't been to Mexico, but there are parts of Mexico that are pretty, decent.
So I'm like,
that's
they
for you.
completely lied.
Well, I just showed one of them a little while ago, and y'all didn't come help me. How did he get in this building? No,
oh my God.
I am so done with you. Let me find this next story.
I'm just saying.
The city of St. Louis is now.
That's not the right one.
Damn.
I'm only paying for what's on the check.
Nope, that's not. I don't know where it's at, y'all. I thought I put
Get
it
your
in
stuff
here.
together, sir.
Hey. I thought that
Get it together.
I did, but I guess I
It don't look like it's together to me because what is going
actually,
on?
it was it was a video about all the CEOs of like social media, like Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO or the people who run like the big people for like Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok, they all had this meeting with Congress, and then they had these like parents there saying because of social media, my child killed themselves and all this kind of stuff. So you have all these like Republican people, some Democrats, but mostly Republican people, basically telling these CEOs of these social media companies that, hey, because of your social media, this person's child is killed, or because of your social media page, this child saw pornography, or this child saw a dead body. And it's like, well, how can you blame the CEOs of a social media company where, first of all, you have to be at least 13 years old to sign up for social media? So why are you allowing your child that's under the age of 13 on social media in the first place? We don't even allow people that age on there. Second of all, yes, they try their best to try to filter stuff that kids are not supposed to see, things that are not supposed to be seen on social media, blah blah blah. They try their best to try to filter those kind of things. But at the end of the day, you need to be monitoring what your kids do. Like, if your child is being bullied on social media, like, just tell your kid to stay off of social media. Like, they're talking about me on social media. Just stay off of social media, or go talk to those parents that are bullying your child. There are other ways to go about these things instead of just blaming, everything on the social media CEOs at the end of the day. Like, they had parents standing there with pictures of their children who of their child or kids that basically killed themselves because of bullying on social media, or things posted about them on social media. And it's great. I hate to say it, but bullying has been around forever. Now, yes, back in our day when the kids that were bullied, it stayed at school for most of them. It didn't really go to home. But because of social media, it kind of finds them home. But at the same time, can't you just, instead of, why would you continuously be friends with these people on Facebook who are talking bad about you and posting bad things about you and tagging you in them? Why won't you just block them on social media, or just not go on media at all to avoid the whole thing? Yeah, they're going to talk about you at school or whatever, but once you leave school, you're not on social media to see any of these things, or you block them on social media for them being able to tag you on these things. So it's like,
So my question is, why do people think bullying is restricted to an age? I never had an issue with my kids coming to me, and I know kids typically don't like to tell their parents things like this, but you see different
right,
changes in your kid if they're being bullied, right? So
correct.
I've I've never had, so first of all, my kids weren't really interested in social media. I don't know if it's because they're males, or maybe because I kept them involved in other extracurricular activities outside of school. But bullying on social media is not restricted to an age. And for people to say, oh well, you know, my child is being X, Y, and Z exposed to this and these things, and they're having these types of thoughts, and stuff is going on. Like,
Mhm,
social media influence everybody, no matter how old you are. If you're not,
mhm.
if you just not an independent thinker. So I give you an example. Like, it's somebody I know, I was told today that she was she was living her life, and then now she's being bullied on one of these social media platforms, to the point where they have made a account that, like a spam account of her, saying it's her, but then putting up there, different pictures saying only $50 a night, saying that she has sexually transmitted diseases, just saying, putting out like her social security number, her address. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, bullying affects,
You're
you know.
correct. At all ages, you're
So
correct.
so
You're so right. Cause I get bullied at work at times. Some people be talking about locking me away in homes and slapping
Oh
me
my
and stuff
god.
like that. And I get bullied too. But
Martell, didn't I tell you to knock that off?
it's
First of
just
all, I didn't
it,
threaten to slap him. I told
it,
him that I was gonna sweet chin music him in his chin. That's different.
it's just
Still a threat of
hard.
violence.
It's just hard being. being
And second of all, it's different when somebody deserves it. Okay, he
and
deserves
people
it.
be talking about sending you to homes, locking their mom and other people away and stuff. It's just so excuse me.
How dare you?
He's definitely going in a home now. I swear to God.
See,
He's
see
going
what
in a
I'm
home.
saying? You
He's
doing
going
it
in a home.
live now.
I don't give a damn. You going in a home.
Oh, damn it.
I can't take y'all seriously. But
That's it.
I mean, again, this comes down to parents
Yeah.
being parents, right?
Right.
Bless you. If you feel like your child may be prone to bullying, then keep them off of social media. It's sad that people can't do so, and like social media isn't the only place people get bullied. Like old fashioned bullying, we didn't have social media back in the day. I'm not trying to make this less of an issue. Bullying is bad no matter what, right? Some people can take it, some people can't, but you gotta life, like the world is a rough place to live in. You gotta give your children these skills to be this independent thinker, to know how to deal with these situations. If they're not, and I'm not saying meet it with violence, but there's other ways. Remove yourself, tell somebody else that has the power to deal with it, things like that. And then 9 times out of 10, like if you're not embarrassed about anything in your life, a bully has no power over you. You got to be confident and self-secure within who you are for a book. You don't care what somebody else is saying. It doesn't matter.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like at the end of the day, who cares what somebody else say or think about? I can care less what a lot of people say. A lot of people say that I'm mean as hell. I'm not mean as hell. I'm not mean at all. It's just that when I'm at
Did you
certain,
mute him again?
I did. Because he was like tapping on something or knocking and it was really loud. But I'm just saying, like, you can't let what people say dictate how you feel or your emotions, or you can't let somebody like that have power over you, because if they see that they got them as power over you, they're going to continue to keep doing it over and over again. And then, like I said, like if stuff is going on social media, you just log off. Don't go on there. Don't go look. I keep telling people, like, sometimes I don't pay attention to what's going on in the world until it's almost time to start putting together stuff for the show, and I got to go back and I can do research for the show. But in between doing research for the show, like I try not to pay attention to what's going on in the world, because I tell people the world is a beautiful place if you just don't watch the news or try to keep up with what's going on in the world. It is a very peaceful place if you just not paying attention to what the shenanigans that's going on. And I feel like if you're in that situation when it comes to bullying, you just don't pay attention to it, then you'll be in a very beautiful place. And at the end of the day, like, you cannot blame these social media CEOs for your child unaliving themselves. If anything, you need to go after the parents and the kids or the people who were talking about your child, dragging your child through the mud, probably posting, there were other kids like, Susie was talking to Nick, and she said Susie sent Nick a naked picture of herself, and decided to, the girl decided to go post a picture of Susie on social media. Now everybody's talking about her and gave her a name, stuff like that. After the person who is doing this stuff to your child, who calls your child to go do this, for you to go and say, oh, it's the CEO fault that my child unalived themselves. No, it's not the CEO fault. That's just like going to your employer and tell your employer, you know what? Because we were because I was being talked about at work. I feel like the staff was talking about me really bad at work, and then I'm free to go unalive myself. You decide to go unalive yourself because your manager didn't do anything about somebody talking about you bad at work. Like,
or hell, even if your manager sit you down and tell you that your performance is subpar.
Right.
That's their job.
You're not going to go unalive yourself for these kind of situations. So it's like, go Go after the people who doing this to your child. Go sue those parents who child was bullying your child on social media. Go sue them. It's legal. You can go sue them for that. Go do it. But instead
I just bully a bully. That's what I do.
Or that too. But instead, you decided to go after the CEOs and think that these CEOs is supposed to pay you a compensation for your child unaliving themselves because other people was posting pictures or talking about your child on social media. No, go after that child's family.
So what's the difference? What's the difference between social media and a group chat? Or back in the day, they used to print pictures and put them up around the school, hand them out, write stuff in the bathroom stalls.
And that's what I'm saying. Like people will it's in today and age, like catfishing. That's the thing now. These kids would go create, online profiles and go catfish one of their classmates who they don't like into sending them, pictures of themselves nude. And then they say, no, these students are posting those pictures, sending those pictures to other students or posting it in groups like that. It has happened. Go after that child who decided to go do that, who is sending this picture around. That's considered having child pornography on your phone. On that child, that kid has child pornography on their phone. Go press charges against that.
First of all, you need to talk to your child about why they actually sending pictures like that.
Well, yeah, that too. But yeah, it's not the the CEO's fault that your child did what they did.
No.
But to keep things going, there is one person who I know personally who probably wants to disappear off of social media. And I'm going to play the video and then we're going to discuss it.
The woman that stole $4,000 from Keith Lee when he came and blessed her at her food truck has now shut down her business. This picture went viral earlier today of somebody taking a screenshot of the sweetly seasoned food truck, and it says that it is permanently closed. Now, when I go searching for it online, I can't even find it to pop up on Google and say that it's permanently closed. This is the only place that pops up, and this is not the one from Keith Lee's video. And for those of you that don't remember, Keith Lee went to this woman's food truck just a few days ago in Dallas, where he gave her a $2,000 tip and then $1,000 for a man cutting hair and $1,000 for a woman doing braids right outside her food truck. Well, when Keith Lee went to give her the money, she didn't want to deal with cash, so he just gave her the $4,000 on his card to her Square machine, and she said that she was going to pay those people later on. Not to mention, Keith Lee gave her $800 to give out free meals, and she only gave out 3 before charging people again. Well, afterwards, people found out that she did not actually give out the $1,000 to the barber or the $1,000 to the woman braiding hair. She pocketed the whole $4,000. And now pages like Dallas Eats, which has almost 70,000 followers on Twitter and always gives recommendations of where to eat in Dallas, is calling for people to boycott that food truck. And now today, it looks like the food truck's been shut down altogether. So you guys let me know in the comments, does the food truck deserve to be shut down, or should she be staying open?
Okay.
So just to give it back, with this woman lived about 2 houses down from me.
Of course she did.
They sold their house like a year and a half ago and moved. I do know the son who also posted the video, Trey. I know him, and she still currently has a son that lives here in the neighborhood also.
Okay, with that being said, now you can look at it from different aspects, right? So I got so many questions. First of all, were those people that were cutting hair and doing braid outside of her food truck her employees?
No.
Or were they? Okay, so don't understand why he gave her all of their money, because he could have cashed out somebody. He could have, them independently. He could have did that. And I mean, yeah, she should have did the right thing and, given out the money, the $1,000 to each one of them, and then kept her money and then just give out free food, because not only are you bringing more people, right? So that's good publicity, right? Mm-hmm. People are going to come and get free food, right? So just make sure that your food is up to par. You're going to get more publicity and possibly more new customers to come back that are actually going to pay for it now, since they had a chance to try it, right? Mm-hmm. Then so you've made your money for the day, probably more than what you were going to make in a day, right? Let's be real,
Yeah, because
$800 for
she got a
people.
$2,000 tip plus an additional $800 to give out free food to people.
Right. So there's that. Like, now she's shady business. That's definitely shady business, right? 100%. But legally, can they shut that food truck down? No, they can't
No,
legally,
they
right?
can't. No.
Okay. So
But with people boycotting not going, she's not gonna make money, so she ain't gonna have no choice but to shut it down regardless because
she can
nobody's
just
going.
relocate.
True.
She can relocate. She can put it under a different name, and she don't necessarily have to be the face that the customers see and still make money. So it's
True.
loophole to that, you know. But at the same time, like, she, like, come on, Milwaukee, like, y'all can't even go to a different state and act right.
Because
Like,
here was my breakdown of it. So he gave you the tip, the $2,000 tip, the $800 to get free food. He didn't have cash on him, so he was like, "Hey, if I, charge, you charge 4,000 plus the 4,000 on him plus the $800 for the free food. Charge this. I'm gonna charge this to my. You charge this to my account, and you just disperse them the money." That's how it was supposed to go. And at the same, so like he looking at it like, okay, you have a lady out here braiding hair, you got a man out here cutting hair. So the people who are waiting in line, the late wait, because he gave them $1,000 basically to give out free haircuts and free braids, basically. So while these people are waiting in line, they can go to your food truck and get food, which is all publicity for you. Me coming here is also publicity for you. So once that $800 ran out, you can go back to charging people food. If there's people still there who are waiting to get a free haircut and their hair braided, they're going to be waiting in line. So while I'm waiting in line to get my haircut and my hair braided, I'm going to go over here and purchase some food while I'm waiting. So now you can make even additional money on top of that. Only
or
thing you have
how about you got a $2,000 tip? Why not just give out free food for the rest of the day?
True. And then the thing about it is like, okay, he gave her the money, and then like it was like, well, I found out about this, I believe Saturday morning or something like that. I found out about the story. This was already going viral, so during this beat before that on TikTok. So I found out about this Saturday morning. When I went and checked her social media account Saturday, I think later on, either that same day or that next day, I had saw that she made a post because my mother is friends with her on Facebook. So when I saw, so when I went and saw the post, it was like, y'all can come get y'all money. So I don't know. So this is like a span of days. So this is by the time I saw it, and by the time it was probably up on social media, it could have been a span of days before I saw this. So after a few days, she finally posted on social media like, "Hey, y'all can come get y'all money." Like I said, like at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure. Like I'm pretty sure, like at the end of the day, like if he gave you $4,000, whatever, you got $4,000 in your bank account. Let me go take this. You know what? Until the other money clear, let me just take this 2,000 of my own money and give it to them, and then I know this money is gonna clear anyways. It's Keith Lee. I'm pretty sure gonna bullshit me anyway. So let me just go take this 2,000 and then just give them their money. That's how I would have went about it, because I already know. I know that his money is gonna clear regardless. That's me.
Maybe she didn't have the money in her account and she had to wait for it to clear.
That too. I thought about that too. But then you should have, as a business owner or woman, you should have said that, because if you didn't have $2,000 to your account to just hand over and give, how are you buying supplies or food or doing whatever it is that you need to do to make food and sell it in the first place? So, if that's the case, if you had to wait for the money to clear, you could have went to them at the end of the thing like, hey, give the money a few days to clear nothing. She basically at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, just packed up and left and didn't say anything to the barber or the hair braider, in which the hair braider said that she didn't even know the woman. She didn't have no contact with the woman whatsoever. So either way it go, you was in the wrong. You should just gave them people that they money somehow, or went and talk to them like, hey, give it a few days to clear. You should have did some type of communication before you left. And I hate the fact that this happened to somebody who was a local here in the Milwaukee area. And it's crazy because my cousin, who lives in Seattle, she knew nothing about this story until like Monday or Tuesday, this past Monday or Tuesday. And she was like, this thing has gone so viral that her friend who is in who works for the government, I'm gonna say that, who works for the government in Washington, DC, shared a meme of the woman on Instagram. That's just how viral this thing has gone. And she was like, I didn't have no clue that this was all going on. So at the end of the day, she should just gave the lady. She either should have communicated or just been like, "Hey, I get y'all money this," or let me whatever. She should have just communicated, and all this wouldn't have happened. And now, basically, your ethics are being questioned. You as a businesswoman is being questioned. Your business has been scrutinized for this. So, hopefully, this was a lesson learned. So,
Terrible.
to keep things going, so we don't have much time left. So, Eric, do you guys remember? I don't know if you guys remember. We had talked about the gay bar in St. Louis that got ran into by a police officer. A police officer car ran into it. He lied and said that he was swerving and trying to miss a animal or
Yes.
something in the street, and there was no animal in the street when it came to like traffic cameras. He also ran a red light before hitting the building. So we have an update on that story, and it's not really a good update. So I'm playing a video for y'all.
The city of St. Louis is now threatening to condemn the gay bar that cops crashed into last month. The Department of Public Safety is giving the building owners until mid-February to repair the damages done by the cops or face condemnation. By the way, I'm Trav. I report on the queer economy, and if you've been following me, you know that I've been following this story over the past several weeks. It's as crazy as it sounds, and if you're new to this story, I recommend checking out these two videos to catch up. In the latest turn of events, the building owners released a letter they received from a building inspector of the Department of Public Safety. The letter is dated December 19th, which is one day after the cops crashed into the front of Bar PM. It basically says that if the building owners don't repair the damages made by the cop by February 19th, they could potentially be subject to fines or even having the building condemned. The Public Safety Department released a statement to local radio station KMOX. They basically said that this was just a general letter and that this was not a threat to the building owners and they have no reason to condemn the property. But this latest update, along with the recent videos released of the crash itself and the heavy-handed conduct of the police afterwards, is not beating the allegations that there's bias afoot. Let me know what you think about this in the comments and follow me as I continue to follow this story.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
bunch of BS.
So if y'all not clear, on the scene, the cops did arrest the co-owner of the bar, even though the police officer was the one that ran into the bar. And on top of that, they didn't even do a test to see if there were any type of alcohol or drugs in the police officer's system at the time of this crash also. And then for them to put out that statement a day after the crash happened, like, I feel like this business is personally being attacked just because it's a gay bar, and I feel like it's personally being attacked for no reason. The fact that there was this little investigation that went into this, why isn't this cop being responsible for this? The fact that they are saying that you have to have these damages fixed by such and such time, by February 19th, when they are in the middle of their insurance company is like trying to get basically their insurance is like, well, we're not going to pay for this. The city should be paying for it just to be done. So there's like this back and forth for who's going to pay for it at the end of the day. So then they really can't do an insurance claim to get the property damage fixed because the police officers won't release a report for them to file a claim to get the damages fixed in the first place. So that's why me personally feel like this business is just personally being attacked at this point.
So it sounds like they need to go ahead and get a lawyer and sue.
Yes,
that's
definitely.
what I feel like. They got a GoFundMe or anything like that?
Not that I know of.
We need to just reach out and support those owners any kind of way we can. If you do, believe that the police were in the wrong, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, they went in there and they were demanding to see like ID and all of this extra stuff, and and he was like, what's going on? And I guess he wasn't, giving them what they wanted, and they ended up arresting him. But then I think like the next day or a few days after, it was like a heavy police presence outside of the bar.
Yep.
Right.
It was.
Yeah. So I remember that. That's a bunch of foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you saw the clip, we saw the clip where the police officer ran the light and then swerved with nothing in the road, and he was driving that truck and ran into their building. Like, why do you think? Why does that city or that county feel like they're not going to be responsible for the damages? And then for a police report or whatever, you said it, they had to wait on the report. I think, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this, I believe they have 72 hours to write that police report.
Yeah, I think the police report was done. I think they're just not releasing the police report on purpose to
do that.
The bar owners, right? That's why I'm like they're personally attacking this business. So I did have a story on bill splitting, but I knew that was going to be a really good debate for us about bill splitting. So we're going to say that for the next episode. But I do have somebody talking about civil war in America and why it isn't going to happen. And then we're going to discuss it.
I know America's pretty divided right now, but I really draw the line at when people are like, oh, it's so bad, we might end up having another civil war. It's like really, like, have you seen Americans? We are way too lazy to participate in a second civil war. We have an app that delivers McDonald's to our doorstep. That's not a nation that's really brimming with like start a second country energy. No, we're a country that will take our clothes out of the dryer and put them on a chair for several days. Like, you're gonna tell me the South is gonna rise again? I don't really think so. It's like, I know some of you are like, oh, well, January 6th, Matt, what about January 6th? It's like, yeah, but January 6th gave off more of like a Home Alone vibe than it did like a Glory vibe. Like, I just think it's way too hard to organize things. Like, no one's 5 to 9 after their 9 to 5 is going to be war. Like Netflix literally has an autoplay function at the end of episodes because they know how tired we are after work. We don't even want to touch a TV remote. You're going to tell me people are going to be dressing for combat? I just think, look, no matter how bad things get in this country, even if there is a civil war, it's like, it's going to be very few participants. Like, most of us are just going to be on the couch, like texting, like, sorry, I can't be there. Like, tell me how it goes.
Not that I don't have a babysitter tonight, Tech.
I feel like he was describing me.
Me too, because I'd be like, oh, yeah, I don't know if I'm feeling that. Woo, I'm a little wore out. Oh, man. Them clothes do need to be folded over there.
I was going to say, especially taking the clothes out the dryer and sitting in the chair for a couple of days. That is so me.
Child, listen, okay. We struggling to maintain homes and bills. Like, who got all that extra time
to get off of work and go participate in the Civil War? Like, no, nobody has time.
We not even in shape enough.
We got our groceries delivered to our houses. Like, who has time?
The majority of Americans not even in shape to participate in no damn. It's gonna be asthma attacks and heart attacks galore on the field. Like, what are you talking about? Don't nobody know how to aim. It's gonna be plenty friendly fire. Like, come on now. Like,
a lot of these people gonna be too busy taking pictures for the ground team to participate in the war.
It's gonna be plenty selfies, plenty lives.
Did my helmet look cute? Like, Becky, did my helmet look cute? Oh my gosh.
The Kia boy is gonna be in there stealing tanks. Like, can you imagine? Oh, like,
oh Lord,
it ain't gonna happen. Yeah, no.
I did have some videos of the week, but I'm going to say those for next week because right now we need to go into final thoughts.
You always start with me on final thoughts. Okay. So first of all, final thought, I want to say thank you to everybody that wished me a happy birthday and made my birthday wonderful this year. that meant a lot to me. I really don't have too much for final thoughts. We talked about a lot on this episode. A lot on this episode. Gun violence mostly, right? Kids, right? So just I want everybody to just try to do a better job at being a parent. I want you to think about your parenting style doesn't have to mimic or match your parents' parenting style. You always want to do better than that, whatever that better is to you. Okay. We gotta keep our kids safe in schools. It's just wild out here. So parents, please be parents. And thank you for all the birthday wishes.
All right, everybody. My final to do better. Gas is still too damn high. People need to be more responsible for the kids. Stop blaming, stop blaming other people's problems, your kids' problems on other people. Start paying more attention to your kids. Pay attention to your kids, actions, their emotions, their behaviors. Start paying attention to those things. We talked about how parents tried to expecting compensation from social media CEOs for their child unaliving themselves. You start going after the people who are targeting your child, or take your child off of social media. Tell your child to block those people. It's so many different things that we can do besides pointing the finger. It's pointing the finger at other people and start coming up with solutions, or being a solution yourself, or taking control of the situation. Instead of sitting on your lazy butt like, oh, well, they should have been talking about my child on social media. What were you doing to stop your child from being bullied on social media? What steps did you take? Did you go to the school? Half these parents probably went to the only time they went to their school and when they signed their child up for school. They probably never stepped foot in their school since the child started there. So parents, do better when it comes to parenting your children. And that's my final thoughts.
Yay.
And with that being said, we will see you all on the next episode of Same Cast Different Day podcast. What we'll be discussing on the episode, I don't know what the hell we're going to be discussing. Probably about, I got a shipment of wine coming tomorrow that's about 26 or 27 bottles that's going to be delivered tomorrow. So maybe I'll be very, very intoxicated on the next episode of the podcast. But until then, we'll see you all in the next episode of Same Cast Different Day podcast.
Peace.